that should be moral, then you follow a formalistic idea of categorical imperative. In other words, you want your principle to be realizable by every human being. It's a purely formalistic. And your human nature, your desire, your passions, and the external conditions are all secondary. Therefore, the motivation to will based upon your freedom of choice is the only way that you can be truly moral. And of course, very complicated argument for that position. Again, it is related to the notion about respect. The respect is you treat every human being or every rational animal in itself. It's not an instrumental understanding. You don't treat anyone as an instrument, either for your own friendship or for the enhancement of your happiness, even the happiness of the other as well. None of these considerations are essential for the development of the moral self. There's, of course, some faith. For example, faith in the existence of God, or the faith in the immortality of the soul. But all these forms of faith are also related to human rationality and freedom. So in other words, God obeys freedom as well. There's nothing totally independent of and alien to the choice of the self. And these are backgrounds, important backgrounds for the development of perhaps the most powerful liberal idea of ethics. This liberal idea presupposes that justice is only confined to the political process. Ethics and religion, your strong commitments are relegated to the background. You have to take the political process is based upon neutrality. The government is not going to dictate what kind of ethics is the best for the society. The government is not going to talk about various kinds of religious beliefs, because the idea if the government is involved in that kind of business, the government cannot function as a neutral ground for securing some basic solidarity of the society as a whole. So, clear distinction between the public and private. Religions and even ethics or values that you adhere to are private matters of the heart. And yet, in the political process, these are not significant. You have all kinds of tastes. You observe all kinds of ideas relevant to your good life. But these are irrelevant from the point of view of the political process of the government. So the government gets out of the business of religion on the one hand and ethics on the other. This is by far the most powerful ethical persuasion, certainly in America or in the West, for many, many decades. Recently, there's a challenge. This challenge based upon the thick description of ethics, focusing not on the abstract individual or abstract principle or the political process which is totally neutral. It's focusing on the specific, particular, concrete person, or focusing on a specific community that we are all part of. And this is, of course, sometimes characterized as the communitarian ethics. And this communitarian ethics recognizes the uniqueness of a particular cultural tradition, the uniqueness of a concrete person, and also the importance of religion and ethics. It's difficult to imagine anyone who's not committed to certain kind of basic values. It is difficult to imagine that many people have convictions. These convictions are very powerful. If you only focus on the political process which is neutral, which is not involved in religion on the one hand or ethics in the other, it is impoverished. So you need to follow the idea of the concrete person as a point of departure. And the concrete person is unique. And by implication, all kinds of cultures and traditions will have to take into consideration. We understand that in the globalizing process, there are two kinds of globalization. One is economic. The economic globalization is homogenization. In other words, it's convergence. And each and every society will have to obey the rule of economic principles or economic practices.